Good evening and welcome to South Central League Baseball at the South Dakota Amateur Baseball Tournament, Class B Tournament at Cadwell Park in Mitchell on Fox Sports Radio and 5-star streaming on YouTube. I'm Michael Schumacher, and we are going to be ready for an exciting one tonight and tomorrow night. Tonight we're bringing you the Wynot Expos and the Alexandria Angels, and tomorrow night we are bringing you the Tabor Bluebirds, Tabor Bluebirds as they take on the Clark Traders. So we do have starting lineups. We do have things ready to go. So we're going to do that. But this is all part of the Hanson Briggs pregame show. Hanson Briggs in Yankton, your local source for printing and promotional needs. That's Hanson Briggs in Yankton, sponsor of our pregame and postgame shows, especially when we have games one right after the other. They were our pregame, postgame sponsors. Full press box up here. James Simbrek with us tonight again. He's going to be out there shooting, and then I'm sure he'll be back up here to correct me on whatever I get wrong again, so that is always awesome. Again, I'd like to always say, for good coverage of South Central League Baseball, good write-ups, James and the Press and Dakota do a great job. Go to yankton.net. Get yourself a digital subscription at worst. Get yourself a print subscription if you like to have that in your hands. Otherwise, for a good review of the entire tournament, 605 Sports does a great job as well. Great photography from both Yankton.net and 605 Sports. Great write-ups on them as well. We're glad you joined us here on 5-star streaming and Fox Sports Radio. We've been bringing you South Central League Baseball all season long. We've been getting a good reception, good feedback. And tomorrow morning on At the Mic with Michael Schumacher, we will have the pitching prowess from Friday night for Tabor. Josiah Peterson will join us on At the Mic, as well as Chris Sutera, to talk about the upcoming game tomorrow night. Also, Brian Gunther, one of the Crofton Blue Jays greats, and Brian Humphrey, a former major leaguer who is going to be offering some batting lessons in Tabor, but also looking to provide them throughout southeast South Dakota, maybe even northeast Nebraska. So we will have all of that on At the Mic tomorrow morning on Fox Sports Radio. And so glad you could join us for this. Let's go through our sponsors. We already talked about Hanson Briggs. Our scoreboard sponsor, well, that is Grassland Heating and Cooling. If it heats and it cools and you have a problem with it, call Grassland Heating and Cooling. Our Who's on Deck brought to you by Chris Hay Grinding in Tyndall. Our mound visits and pitching changes brought to you by Mama J's Bar and Cafe in Irene. And then our national anthem is brought to you by Joe Labarge and America's Best Realty. Joe Labarge and America's Best Realty in honor of the South Dakota Special Olympics. So that is the look around our sponsors. And then the ads that you will see that scrolling across the top if I were to do that properly. And no, that's not what you want to see. That's not what you want to see at all. I accidentally clicked that. There we go. We'll put that back up there. All right. And so let me get our scrolling up there, because that is every sponsor that we have that'll provide an ad. And so those ads include Downtown Auto Service, Midwest Insurance Agency, Elkhorn Valley Bank, Lakeview Golf Course, Joe's Substation, Central Farmers Cooperative, Corner Nugget, Menno State Bank, High Street Insurance, Greg Davis Excavation, Tabor Lumber Co-op, Byerly Insurance, The Keg in Tabor, TLC Propane, Sioux International, Merchant State Bank, Parker Hannafin, Beer Garden in Menno, Larson Carpet, Rural Manufacturing, Hoots Bar in Freeman, Jones Feed and Grain Trucking, Core Trust Bank, Renewable Ag Products, and Wynot Oil. Remember, without those sponsors, we're not able to provide you this coverage. So we say, obviously, you don't have to buy from them, but give them a chance to compete, whether it's price, service, selection, or the fact that they support your local athletics. Give those sponsors a chance if you need their services for anything. All right, well, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll take a look at the starting lineups as we get ready for first pitch around 5:30. From Cadwell Park in Mitchell, I'm Michael Schumacher on Fox Sports Radio and 5-star streaming on YouTube.
If your car can't get you all the way home or just needs regular maintenance, call Downtown Auto Service in Crofton with a commitment to providing you with honest quality service with reasonable prices. With the technology and expertise Downtown Auto Service in Crofton provides, your car will have the best care imaginable. When it comes to your vehicle, you want the best, and Downtown Auto Service in Crofton is not only the best downtown, it's the best all around. That's Downtown Auto Service in Crofton.
Midwest Insurance Agency values family. Our agency has been family-run for over 60 years. We pride ourselves on excellent, knowledgeable customer service. This day and age, everyone is so eager to have an immediate response with a quote. But at Midwest Insurance, we take our time and evaluate your assets and make sure you are properly insured. We take those what-ifs very seriously. As we continue on our family business with hopes of our children, Brooke or Jet, taking over in the future, we will continue to be there for you always. Come be a part of our family. Midwest Insurance Agency, 3016 Piper Street, Yankton.
Elkhorn Valley Bank and Trust understands what it takes to be a part of the community. It's not just about transactions, it's about relationships. Whether you're buying your first home, growing your business, or planning for the future, their team is here to help every step of the way. Elkhorn Valley Bank uses local decision-making, personalized service, and modern banking tools like online banking and a teller on demand to make managing money simple and convenient. Helping you reach your financial goals, Elkhorn Valley Bank, member FDIC.
There's something new waiting for you at the Crofton Lakeview Golf Course. Come experience a brand new clubhouse where great rounds meet great company. Enjoy the stunning new view while relaxing with friends on the covered patio. Whether you're finishing 9 holes or just stopping by, Lakeview's new clubhouse is a perfect place to unwind. Lakeview Golf Course, come for the game, stay for the experience. Make every visit unforgettable at the new Lakeview Clubhouse. Experience a summer of golf while overlooking the views of the Lewis and Clark Lake. See you there.
Joe Substation in Lesterville says go Bronx. And so should you. Go to Joe Substation when you are hungry. They serve that amazing Alaskan pollock and delicious roasted chicken. Lunch specials are served Tuesday through Friday from 11 to 1. And on Wednesday, it's the all-you-can-eat roasted chicken and fish buffet served from 5 to 8 p.m. Weekends, the kitchen is open from 5 p. to 9. So when you're out and about, hungry and need some nourishment or a cold beverage, Joe's Substation is the place. 4 miles south of Lesterville. Go Bronx.
At Central Farmers Cooperative, they know your operation depends on more than just hard work. It depends on the right partner. From agronomy solutions that boost your yields to reliable seed varieties and the chemicals that help protect every acre. Central Farmers Cooperative is there to support you every step of the way. Local people, local expertise, real results. Central Farmers Cooperative cheering on the surrounding areas in all aspects. Central Farmers Cooperative, growing strong together.
Welcome back to South Central League Baseball at the Class B State Amateur Baseball Tournament at Cadwell Park in Mitchell. I'm Michael Schumacher on Fox Sports Radio and 5-star streaming on YouTube as we get ready to bring you the Wynot Expos and the Alexandria Angels. Well, the Angels on the season 15-3. They will be the visiting team, so they'll be up first. So let's take a look at their lineup. Leading off and playing center field, number 12, Jared Zenz. Zenz batted .355 on the season. Batting second and playing shortstop, it's number 7, Dakota Munger, who batted .339. Batting third and catching, number 20, Charlie Dubanoski, who batted .324 on the year. Batting cleanup and playing right field, number 5, Tyson Gow, who batted .290. Batting fifth and playing left field, pickup player from Platte, a pickup player from Platte named Preston. Number 2, Number 2, Preston Nedved, who batted .375 on the year. Batting sixth and playing first base, number 11, Jordan Gow, batted .263 on the year. Batting seventh and playing third base, number 6, Ben Wilbur, who batted .377. Batting eighth and playing and designated hitting, number 24, Pierce Smith, who batted .283 on the year. And batting ninth and playing second base, number 3, Carter Brown. Carter Brown batted .300 on the year. Pitching for Alexandria tonight, A.J. Wilbur, who went 5-2 on the season. So should be a good matchup. Alexandria did beat Crofton 6-4. A few kind of self-inflicted wounds that aided Crofton in that, but Crofton had bases loaded. They had the chance there in the ninth to tie it up or take the lead. Just could not quite get it done. So Alexandria probably thankful to escape and get through to tonight. Now they play a Wynot team that had a really nice season. They're 11-9 on the year now. And so let's take a look at what Wynot has going on in the lineup tonight as part of the Hanson Briggs pregame show. Leading off and pitching tonight, it is number 14, Landon Weisler. Landon on the season. Give me just a sec. Yeah, Landon Weisler on the season batted .356. Batting second and playing second, number 34, the Hall of Famer Lee Hymus, who batted .424. Batting third and catching, number 22, Jalen Weisler, who batted .422 on the season. Batting cleanup and playing shortstop, number 42, Jesse Lundahl, who batted .373 on the year. Batting fifth and playing center field, number 9, Jackson Sudbeck. I hope his grandparents are tuned in, and if they are, I hope they chime into the stream. That would be awesome. But Jackson Sudbeck on the season batted .269. Batting sixth and playing first base, it's number 17, Peyton Weisler, who batted .219 on the year. Batting seventh, playing left field, number 11, Nate Weisler, who batted .233. Batting eighth and playing right field, number 15, Devin Lammers. Lammers batted .375. Really has had a lot of power lately. He's really kind of upped his at bats. I had a chance to talk with him the other day on my show. And then batting ninth and playing third base, number 3, Carson Weisler, who batted .184 on the season. Starting pitcher tonight is Landon Weisler. Landon went 3-1 on the season. I expect Nolan Jansen to be at the ready if something were to happen. Jackson Sudbeck, Carson Weisler, all very capable pitchers. So that is the starting lineup tonight. Of course, on the bench you have Nolan Jansen. You have Jake Weir, you have Brighton Whitmire, Ryan Hymus, Scott Morrison, the full contingent of Wynot Expos available tonight at Lee Hymus's disposal. All right, so we'll take a quick break. We'll take a timeout, get some ads in. We'll come back as we're getting ready for first pitch and national anthem. Again, that national anthem brought to you by Joe LaBarge and America's Best Realty in honor of South Dakota Special Olympics. This is all part of the Hanson Briggs pregame show on Fox Sports Radio and 5-star streaming on YouTube. From Cadwell Park in Mitchell, I'm Michael Schumacher.
Friendly place to have a drink with friends and family. Darts, pool, big screen TV, nice, friendly, hospitable staff, great decor for family and community gatherings. How about 5 stars? Tremendous place for local people to meet. These are just a few of the comments about the Corner Nugget in Lesterville. Have you been there yet? If not, sounds like you should head to the Corner Nugget in Lesterville. Music, cold beverages, and your favorite drink mixed just right. The Corner Nugget is a proud sponsor of the Lesterville Bronx. Stop in and catch a game on the big screen.
At Menno State Bank, our team is dedicated to the traditions of service. We offer a wide array of products to accommodate all your financial needs, including checking and savings accounts, CDs, loans, IRAs, debit cards, credit cards, a 24-hour ATM, and online banking. Be sure to inquire about our competitive rates. Menno State Bank, member FDIC, proud to serve the Menno community and surrounding areas.
High Street Insurance and Financial in Crofton has what you need for all your insurance needs. Whether it's auto, home, farm, crop, commercial, life, or health, they have the right products and the right service you're looking for all your insurance needs. Call High Street Insurance in Crofton at 402-388-4772 or stop in at 1201 West 2nd Street in Crofton. A proud sponsor of this sports broadcast.
Greg Davis Excavation is the one to call when you're looking for reliable and dependable excavation and demolition work done the right way. From tree removal to full-scale demolition, Greg Davis Excavation has the experience and the equipment to handle it all. Curb, gutter work, sewer lines, drain tile, basement and garage floors, no problem. They have you covered with dependable and fast service you can trust. Residential or commercial, no job is too big. Greg Davis Excavation, a supporter of all Irene sports.
Since 1958, Tabor Lumber Co-op, located in Tabor and Lesterville, has been your trusted partner in agricultural service and supply. At our Tabor location, you will find the Cenex Fuel Island, open 24/7, accepting both credit and debit cards and offering Roadmaster premium diesel fuel and several options of blended ethanol gas. Inside the store, we've got you covered with hardware and paint supplies, plus top quality windows, doors, and siding. This is more than just a co-op. This is Tabor Lumber Co-op. Stop by today. We are here to help you grow.
Byerly Insurance would like to welcome new customers offering no obligation quotes. They will gladly travel to you with their mobile insurance service, doing business in Yankton, Lesterville, Menno, and surrounding areas of the South Central League. Give Rita Byerly or Brody Byerly a call at 605-387-5999 or go to ByerlyINS.com. When it comes to insurance for autos, home, farm, liability, commercial, work comp, or bonds, Byerly Insurance covers the bases.
Welcome back to South Central League Baseball at the South Dakota Amateur Baseball Class B Tournament from Cadwell Park in Mitchell. I'm Michael Schumacher as we get ready to bring you the Wynot Expos and the Alexandria Angels. Pretty much those uniforms are just the inverse of each other. Wynot with white pants and their navy blue pinstripes, or their royal blue pinstripes with royal blue jerseys, brand new, fresh looking. Red letters with white, or red numbers with white trim on the back, white letters with red trim on the front. If you are a painting company or a painting supply store, that might be what you want to sponsor, is our look at the colors of a uniform. Alexandria, white uniforms with a navy blue, one single blue racing stripe down the side. Red jerseys with the kind of the dark navy blue letters with white trim with a white number and navy blue trim. So that's a look at the uniforms for these teams as they get ready to do battle. Peyton Smith and Lee Hymas are at home plate. Ryan Hymas out there with Lee as well. Ryan Hymas is the bench coach for Wynot as Lee is out in the field. Ryan, longtime player for these Wynot Expos. Good crowd for both squads here. Early week game, so glad to see how many people are out here. Of course, now there's another game after this, so I'm going to have time to go get a burger before I head home. So that's it's always in the meal plan. It's always in the meal plan. Plus, I learned that they don't use butter in the onions, so yeah, it actually fits into my macros pretty well. That way I can keep my girlish figure. So really appreciate that as we get ready for first pitch here. Again, this should be a great matchup. Alexandria in the Sunshine League had a really solid season, and they're going to be a tough matchup. But why not? They've been playing really well as of late. The season got off to a slow start, but they've been really picking it up over the last few weeks, and gave Tabor everything that they could handle in the championship game for the district matchup. So we're going to get ready. They're going to announce starting lineups. Then they will have the national anthem. So we'll take a quick break. When we come back, it'll be national anthem time, brought to you by Joe Labarge and America's Best Realty in honor of the South Dakota Special Olympics. This is the Hanson Briggs pregame show on Fox Sports Radio and 5-star streaming on YouTube. Hanson Briggs, your local source for all your printing and promotional needs. From Cadwell Park in Mitchell, I'm Michael Schumacher. We'll be right back.
The Keg and Tabor is a great place to enjoy some food or a cold one. The grill is on at 11 a.m. Monday through Saturday. Order yourself some appetizers, steak tips, a burger, or some fries or tots. Order up a cold one to go with your meal. Lunch specials are served Monday through Friday. Looking for a place to host a party? Check out the beer garden at the Keg. On the way to the game, make sure you stop by the Keg and Tabor to pick up your cold beverages and munchies. Mike and Anita are proud sponsors of Tabor Bluebirds and all South Central League baseball teams.
TLC Propane of Yankton, Lesterville, and Tabor wants you to know that they're proud of their high level of customer service and that they are locally owned. Building a new home or business? Give Trevor a call today for quotes on tank sizes or with any of your propane questions. TLC Propane can refill or exchange your camper, grill, and fire pit propane bottles. TLC Propane Yankton is now located at 2208 Whiting Drive. Open Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m.
At Sioux International of Freeman, South Dakota, they pride themselves on delivering equipment solutions to every sort of farming operation. The company continues to exude a tradition of excellent customer service and employ a large staff of knowledgeable technicians. Get the scoop on the latest deals and what's new, whether it's ag equipment, acreage equipment, lawn and garden, or equipment attachments. It's what they do at your Sioux International dealer in Freeman, South Dakota, a proud sponsor of this sports broadcast.
You'll find Merchant State Bank with locations in Freeman, Hurley, Viborg, and Irene. They offer big bank products with small town service to meet your financial needs and promote economic growth and stability within the communities they call home. Go to msb-sd.com to browse their website. Merchant State Bank, your hometown banks since 1899. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Parker Hannafin in Yankton has proudly produced filters in their communities for 40 years. With a mission to protect their customers' engines and equipment from first to last use, you know you can trust Parker Hannafin. They have superb product quality, an extensive distribution network, and the industry's broadest product line. All of this in 40 years of doing what they're good at. That's Parker Hannafin in Yankton. Check out their website to see their wide variety of products and how they can help you. Parker Hannafin in Yankton is a proud supporter of all South Central League athletes.
Minnow Beer Garden, where the game's always on, the drinks are cold, and the wings and pizzas are delicious. There's Chislic and burgers too. Gather your crew for a night of darts, pool, or casino fun. Or soak up the sun on the spacious outdoor area. Whether you're cheering on your favorite team or just looking for a laid-back hangout, Minnow Beer Garden is your destination. You won't go hungry or thirsty when you hang at the legendary beer garden in Minnow.
Welcome back to Cadwell Park in Mitchell. Michael Schumacher here with you on Fox Sports Radio and 5-star streaming on YouTube as we get ready to bring you South Central League Baseball from Classic Hits 106. From Cadwell Park in Mitchell at South Central League Baseball and on 5-star streaming on YouTube from the Class B South Dakota Amateur Baseball Tournament. Again, I'm Michael Schumacher as we get ready to bring you Wynot and Alexandria. I've got somebody text me saying I have dead air on 101.5. Well, I'm not quite sure what's going on with that, but whatever. And so they're just announcing the starting lineups. We went through that earlier, so we'll get ready for the national anthem. And they will. I don't know if they'll have first pitches this time around as they did last game. If they do, that would be. We'll announce who those people are. But I don't see anybody waiting in the wings. So we are going to pause for the national anthem. Brought to you by Joe LaBarge and America's Best Realty.
Veterans and active military, not in uniform, may salute the flag.
Can you see by the dawn's early
And that was our national anthem brought to you by Joe LaBarge and America's Best Realty in honor of South Dakota Special Olympics. I want to thank Joe and America's Best Realty for sponsoring the national anthem all season long. Again, I always take time to thank the veterans in my life. Thank the veterans in my life. My daughter Leela, serving in the National Guard in North Carolina. She'll be coming up this weekend, so I get a chance to see her for the first time in a number of months. And then also my dad, Gary Schumacher, who served in the United States Army. My uncle Leroy Schumacher, who served in the United States Army. My late uncle George Dyson, who served in the United States Air Force. And my late uncle Dick Harvey, who served in the United States Navy. Always a special shout out to Brian Cobbler, who usually tunes in. Not sure if he's tuning in tonight, but if he is, he just retired from the Navy a few years ago. He's spending some time in Crofton now, and I want to thank him. And then my friend Chris Keeler, who was in my wedding and served in the National Guard and passed away a few years ago from illnesses contracted from his service overseas. Played for the Crofton Blue Jays for a number of years, gave me one of my best memories. Leela as well. Took her around when she was about 6 with the baseball and had all of the Blue Jays sign it, and that would have been about 2009, right around that area. So 2008, 2009, I believe it was. So I want to thank Chris Keeler in memory of him and all the veterans. One of the great things I get to do on a monthly basis is interview a veteran of the month. And this month it's Adam Hardy, brought to you by H&K Oil and Tire this month. JR's Oasis is our corporate sponsor. That airs every Thursday at 1:30 on Classic Hits 1063. Really love getting a chance to do that. And so if you're able to tune in every Thursday for a month, it's the same veteran. And if you're able to tune in for that, it really is special. Each veteran has a great story to tell, and I hope you'll tune in. We really appreciate our veterans and everyone who has chosen to serve. All right, so Landon Weisler is out there getting in his warm-up pitches. Defensively, tossing to Jalen Weisler. That's the battery tonight. Over at first base is Peyton Weisler. At second base is Lee Hymas. At shortstop, Jesse Lundahl. At third base, Carson Weisler. Left to right in the outfield, you have Nate Weisler, Jackson Sudbeck, and Devin Lammers. Again, I hope Jackson's grandma, unless they're here, I hope she chimes in on the chat. If you have someone you'd like me to shout out on the chat, let me know. Let me know and just type it into the chat if you're watching on 5-Star Streaming on YouTube. Or you can text me, 605-661-5858. All right, leading off for Alexandria, it's Jared Zenz, followed by Dakota Munger and Charlie Dubinowski. Jared Zenz is the center fielder. He'll be leading off. Batting, who's on deck? The shortstop, Dakota Munger. Who's on deck? Brought to you by Chris Haygrinding in Tyndall. So Zenz on the season, batted .355. Here's the first pitch. That is high. Ball 1, 1-0. So ball 1, 1-0. And now ball 2, 2-0. So Weisler would like to get a strike here. Munger, a left-handed batting center fielder. And boy, that's 3 straight balls. That's not the way you want to start out against this Alexandria team. They are a team that will take advantage of mistakes. Just the way Crofton took advantage of a few mistakes on Alexandria's part back on Thursday. And that is a 4-pitch walk. That is not the way you want to start if you're Wynot. So runner on first. And that brings up shortstop Dakota Munger. So Dakota Munger, the shortstop, batting second. On deck is catcher Charlie Dubinowski. So Dakota Munger on the season batted .339. So runner at first. He's a right-handed hitter. And that's a 5th straight ball thrown by Landon Weisler. Well, Kyle Cardell, thank you so much. Jackson Sudbeck. Suds was your college roommate. Had a chance to interview him earlier this year. Seems like a great guy. That pitch is in for a strike. 1-1. So 1 ball, 1 strike. And again, if you want to shout out anybody, I'll keep it clean. I'll give a shout out here. Again, Michael Schumacher broadcasting from Cadwell Park. Just the first inning, second batter. There's a throw to first, not in time. Zenz gets back in quickly. And so while you're here, if you're on the stream, if you could just hit that thumbs up button, that would be awesome. Helps us expand the reach of the channel. Here's the 1-1 pitch. That's lifted into deep left field. Going back is Weisler. Going back, and that is a home run. A 2-run home run to start the game for Alexandria. 2 batters, 1 hit. It's a 2-run lead. So that's quickly a 2-0 lead for Alexandria. That is not the way you wanted to start. And boy, Weisler it's not been crisp at all. And so you just wonder how long you'll let him to try to get his wheels underneath him. Nolan Jansen has been pitching really well all season. So, I mean, he has to be, I saw his name on the list. So we'll see if he's available, but here comes Charlie Dubanoski, the catcher, with now a 2-run lead. Here's the pitch. That ball is grounded over to short, fielded cleanly by Lundahl, over to first to Weisler, fielded cleanly, and that is the first out of the inning. So now 1 down on a 6-3 putout. That brings up right fielder Tyson Gow. Tyson Gow, number 5 on the season. Gow batted .290 on the year. On deck is number 7, the pickup player from Platte, Preston Nedved. Preston Nedved batted .375. So Tyson Gow steps in, right-hand batter. And here's the pitch, windup and delivery from Weisler, and that is out of the zone, 1-0. And that is ball 2, 2-0. So 2 balls, no strikes here in the top of the first as Alexandria hops onto an early 2-0 lead. There's a swing and a miss for strike 1, 2-1. So if you can minimize the damage to just the 2 runs, Wynot can try to scratch back into it, but you don't want to get too far down to this Alexandria Angels team. Here's the 2-1 pitch, another swing and a miss, 2-2. So 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out, nobody on, 2-run lead for Alexandria on a 2-run home run by Dakota Munger. 2-2 pitch. That's laced down the third baseline, fielded cleanly by Carson Weisler. Long throw over to first, and he fields it. Weisler is able to field it, but it pulls him off of first. But it is a great job by Weisler not to allow that to get past. Weisler complaining just a little bit. I think he thinks, maybe a little bit of interference, but we'll call that they're ruling that an error. Wow, okay. Well, they're calling that an error. Nope, they are changing it to a hit. I was going to say, come on. That one felt a little extreme. All right, so first pitch to the Platte Killer Tomato pickup player, Preston Nedved. First pitch is a strike, 0-1. On deck is first baseman Jordan Gow. That pitch is popped up into deep center field. Jackson Sudbeck going back, and makes the catch. Beautiful play by Sudbeck. And so Gow is retreating to first, and he had to go all the way back because he thought that was dropping. So now 2 down here in the top of the first. Runner on first in the form of Tyson Gow. And that'll bring up first baseman Jordan Gow. Nice play by Jackson Sudbeck out in center field to get on his horse and catch up to that one. That brings up first baseman Jordan Gow. Gow on the season batted .263. So Landon Weisler trying to get out of this inning with just the 2 runs across. And that first pitch is a strike. Oh, no. 1 ball. Nope. It is a strike. 0-1. The umpire's strike call is not to the side. It's straight ahead. And that's what can be a little deceptive. And that ball is fouled off and out of play. 0-2. So periodically you're going to hear us be a little bit erroneous on a ball or a strike because it is really hard to tell from this angle. So here's the 0-2 pitch with 2 down and a runner on first as Weisler working from the stretch. Comes home. That is just off the outside corner. 1-2. So again, if you're tuned in on the stream, leave me a chat, leave a shout out, and we will give that shout out to whomever you like. Here's the 1-2 pitch as the runner takes off. That's lifted down right field line. That's going to be foul, and that count will remain 1-2. So the runner was taking off, and that if that had landed fair, I don't think he would have made it home. I really don't. I think Devin Lammers had enough speed or enough arm strength out there to get it in. So we'll do it again. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 on, 2 out here in the top of the first. Landon Weisler looking to get out of it after that home run. That pitch is outside. It's now Deuces Wild. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out with 1 on. Two runs on 2 hits for the Angels. Weisler comes home. That's fouled straight back. And count remains 2-2. So Weisler comes set, doesn't really look over. Here comes a hit into right field. Devin Lammers goes back, and he will make the catch. A catch in deep right field. So in the inning after the walk and the home run, it's 2 runs on 2 hits. No errors, 1 runner left on base. After half an inning on our Grassland Heating and Cooling scoreboard, it is Alexandria 2, Wynot's half of the first coming up after these messages on Fox Sports Radio and 5-star streaming on YouTube.
Larson Carpet has the best flooring for your space, lifestyle, and budget. Family owned and operated since 1972, Larson Carpet offers a huge variety of flooring options, both in stock and special order. When you want the job done right, come to Larson Carpet. Located at 208 Walnut Street in the Meridian District, Larson Carpet is your friendly, family-owned flooring specialist that is right for you.
Rural Manufacturing Company of Freeman, South Dakota has a large inventory of steel for buildings and fabrication needs. They stock square and rectangular tube, pipe, angles, channels, and rounds. Rural Manufacturing also stocks shapes in stainless steel. Their sheet metal stock consists of hot-rolled steel, stainless steel, and galvanized steel. Concrete rebar is also in stock in sizes 3/8 to 3/4 in 20-foot lengths. Call Rural Manufacturing in Freeman for pricing or info on fabrication services available. Want your party to be a hoot? Then have it at Hoots Bar in Freeman, where they are always looking for a great group to party with. The staff at Hoots says stop in and try the selection of beers on tap or use the easy drive-up window for off sale. But the Hoots team would rather see you join them inside. Hoots Bar in Freeman offers darts, lottery, and golf. You can also relax with your cocktail in the outdoor beer garden. Hungry? Order up a delicious Hoots Bar Pizza. Fun, friendly, helpful staff is waiting for you at Hoots Bar in Freeman. See you at Hoots.
Welcome back to South Central League Baseball at the Class B State Amateur Tournament at Cadwell Park in Mitchell. I'm Michael Schumacher, and starting for Wynot, it'll be Landon Weisler, followed by Lee Hymas and Jalen Weisler. Lee Hymas is Who's on Deck, brought to you by Chris Hay Grinding in Tyndall. First pitch to Weisler by A.J. Wilbur is a strike, 0-1. Wilbur went 5-2 on the season. That one's laced over to second base, fielded beautifully over to first for the first out of the inning. So 1 up, 1 down for Wynot. That'll bring up second baseman Lee Hymas. Catching behind the plate, it's Charlie Dubanowski. Over at first, it's Jordan Gow. Carter Brown, who fielded that play at second. At short, it's Dakota Munger. And at third, it's Ben Wilder. From left to right in the outfield, Preston Nedved, Jared Zenz, and Tyson Gow. First pitch to Lee Hymas, in for a strike, 0-1. So Hall of Famer Lee Hymas steps up. That pitch is in for a strike, 0-2, and Lee did not quite agree with that call. You could tell on his face there. Hymas on the season, batted .424. So here's the 0-2 pitch coming from Wilbur. That's lifted high, foul, and out of play. 0-2 count remains. So here's the 0-2 pitch. Wilbur comes set, works from the stretch, comes home. That ball is chopped foul down the third baseline. Count remains 0-2. So Hymas with his stirrups pulled up. He has the red socks showing. He and Ryan do that. Other people wear the long pants. Here's the 0-2 pitch from Wilbur. That is high. Ball 1-2. So 1 ball, 2 strikes. Here's the pitch from Wilbur. That is fouled off. Count remains 1-2. So 1 ball, 2 strikes. Wilbur comes home. That ball is laced down the first baseline, and that will be fielded cleanly by the first baseman, Jordan Gow. So quickly 2 down here in the bottom of the first. That'll bring up catcher, Jalen Wiesler. That pitch is low and inside, 1-0. So Jalen Wiesler, the catcher on the season, well, he batted .422 on the year. Here's the pitch. That, outside, 2-0. That ball's chopped slowly over to short, fielded cleanly. Comes up throwing, and there's a throw for a 6-3 put out in a 1-2-3 inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on base. After 1 on the Grassland Heating and Cooling scoreboard, Alexandria leads Wynot by a score of 2-0. We'll be back with the second inning after these messages on Fox Sports Radio and 5-Star streaming on YouTube.
Jones Feed and Grain Trucking in Wynot, Nebraska is looking for you if you have a CDL. This is a full-time opening for a semi-truck driver to run tanker trailer, hauling liquid feed and fertilizer. Also a hopper trailer hauling feed and grain. This position is within the regional area and home most evenings. A part-time position is also available running quad-axle straight truck, hauling liquid feed within the region and home every evening. Interested? Call Jones Feed and Grain Trucking, 402-357-2633.
Rewarding you for doing everyday things, like buying gas, shopping, and dining local. Does your bank do that? If you're a Core Trust customer, your bank does that. When you open a premium or preferred checking account and meet requirements, you get access to Core Trust perks powered by Bazing, an exclusive network offering 300,000 plus deals and discounts on dining, shopping, travel, fuel, and more. Visit us online, in person, or by phone. Terms and conditions apply. Member FDIC.
At Renewable Ag Products, their business is based on customer relationships and customer service. They coordinate distiller supplies to provide area livestock producers with their commodity needs by working closely with multiple ethanol and processing plants within their region. Their office trades a core group of feed ingredients that include modified distillers, wet distillers, dry distillers, grain, corn syrup, soybean meal, soy hull pellets, corn gluten feed, and corn screening. Call Renewable Ag Products and talk with Henry or Frank. They do their best to make your purchasing decisions easy.
Welcome back to South Central League Baseball at the Amateur Baseball Tournament in Cadwell Park at Mitchell, South Dakota. I'm Michael Schumacher on Fox Sports Radio and 5-Star Streaming. As we entered the second inning with Alexandria leading Wynot 2-0, it'll be Ben Wilder, Pierce Smith, and Carter Brown going against Landon Wiesler. Pierce Smith is who's on deck, brought to you by Chris Hay Grinding. Here's the first pitch to Ben Wilder. That is a ball, 1-0. So again, Pierce Smith is who's on deck, brought to you by Chris Hay Grinding. So ball 1-0, and that is ball 2-0, and kind of starting off the same way we started off inning number 1. Want to thank you for joining us here on the 5-Star streaming broadcast. That pitch is high, 3-0. And Weisler winds and delivers. And that is ball 4. The second 4-pitch walk to start an inning for Landon Weisler. That puts a runner on first. Brings up designated hitter Pierce Smith. Pierce Smith on the season for Alexandria. He batted .283. On deck is second baseman Carter Brown.
So Wilbur takes his lead from first. Second walk issued by right-hander Landon Weisler. Here's Pierce Smith, the designated hitter. And that off-speed pitch stays inside a little bit. One ball, no strikes. And Landon Weisler is struggling to find his own. Smith hitting .255 on the year, the number 8 hitter with a .406 on-base percentage. That fastball misses outside. 2 balls and no strikes, and that is quickly 6 out of the zone for Weisler.
So it's now 2-0. And here's the pitch. That is in for a strike, 2-1, with a runner on first via a walk. Ben Wilbur at first. That's a line drive into left field, and that will be fielded cleanly out there. But runners now at first and second as Nate Weisler comes up throwing on that one. So a single for Pierce Smith. That is the second hit of the game for Alexandria. Puts runners at first and third. Still nobody out. So Carter Brown, then the top of the order with Jared Zenz on deck. That pitch is outside, 1-0. That ball's grounded down to third. Carson Weisler will tag the lead runner, and runners will stay at second and third, and that'll now be one down as Carter Brown will ground into a fielder's choice, so he'll be at first now. Pierce Smith at second with Ben Wilbur out heading to third. Brings up center fielder Jared Zenz, who walked his first time up, and he scored on that home run by Dakota Munger. Zenz, again, a left-handed hitter. Steps in. Ball's in for a strike, 0-1. That's what he didn't do against Zenz last time, is get a strike. So we'll see if that can change the fortunes just a little bit. He'd love to get a double play here, get out of this inning. That pitch is high, 1-1. So 1 ball, 1 strike. That pitch is popped up over to short. Jesse Lundahl will field that, so that'll be now 2 down with 2 on. And Landon Weisler looking to get out of this inning after putting on the first 2 runners. He has gotten 2 in a row, so with Pierce Smith at second, Carter Brown at first, that brings up Dakota Munger. What did he do his last time up? That's right, he hit a 2-run home run. He's got the stirrups pulled up, horizontal socks, horizontal stripes on the socks, and that pitch is out of the zone, 1-0. Black socks with the red, white, and black stripes. Kind of a nice, classy look. Weisler comes home. That pitch is lifted high into shallow, out just behind second, so Lundahl steps in front of Lee Hymas and takes it. So after the first 2 runners get on for Alexandria, Landon Weisler is able to settle down, get the next 3. So in the inning, no runs, 1 hit, no errors, 2 runners left on base. After an inning and a half on the Grassland Heating and Cooling scoreboard, it's Alexandria 2. Wynot nothing. We'll be back after these messages on Fox Sports Radio and 5 Star Streaming.
Give Wynot Oil a call for your fuel, tire, and oil needs. They deliver treated farm and road diesel along with unleaded and super unleaded gasoline to both tanks. They offer gravity flow bulk oil, DEF systems, and can assist you with all your tire needs from small lawn tires to large ag tires. Wynot Oil Company offers hydraulic hose repairs, automotive service, and more. Stop in for fuel at the pump or a cold drink from the small convenience store. Wynot Oil Company, Wynot, Nebraska.
If your car can't get you all the way home or just needs regular maintenance, call Downtown Auto Service in Crofton with a commitment to providing you with honest quality service with reasonable prices. With the technology and expertise Downtown Auto Service in Crofton provides, your car will have the best care imaginable. When it comes to your vehicle, you want the best, and Downtown Auto Service in Crofton is not only the best downtown, it's the best all around. That's Downtown Auto Service in Crofton.
Midwest Insurance Agency values family. Our agency has been family run for over 60 years. We pride ourselves on excellent, knowledgeable customer service. This day and age, everyone is so eager to have an immediate response with a quote. But at Midwest Insurance, we take our time and evaluate your assets and make sure you are properly insured. We take those what-ifs very seriously. As we continue on our family business with hopes of our children, Brooke or Jet, taking over in the future, we will continue to be there for you always. Come be a part of our family. Midwest Insurance Agency, 3016 Piper Street, Yankton.
Welcome back to South Central League Baseball at the South Dakota Amateur Baseball Tournament. Leading off this inning for Wynot will be Jesse Lundahl, followed by Jackson Sudbeck and Peyton Wiesler. Jackson Sudbeck is Who's on Deck, brought to you by Chris Hay Grinding in Tyndall. And as according to Kyle Cardell, Jackson Suds was a great guy. And I'll admit, I thought he was too. Oh, and that takes a nasty bounce over the shortstop's head as Dakota Munger was getting ready to field that, and that thing took a bounce right over his head. So they'll take it, however, but that is the first hit of the game. Lundahl gets on first. So runner on first now. And that brings up Jackson Sudbeck. Jackson Sudbeck with the chance to try to help Wynot get that first run on. Lundahl gets a good lead off of first. On deck is first baseman Peyton Wiesler. That pitch is laced into left field, and that'll be a single. Lundahl will be at second, Sudbeck at first. So back-to-back singles for Wynot here to start the second inning. That brings up first baseman Peyton Wiesler. Now, Wiesler on the season hasn't quite had the season batting that he would like, just batting .219, but he does have some power, and he's so great in the infield. So Jesse Lundahl gets a little bit of a lead off a second. A.J. Wilbur comes set, working from the stretch either way. Looks back, comes home. That pitch is outside, 1-0. So Wynot with back-to-back singles. Now that first single was really just a fielding fluke, bouncing over the head of Munger, an odd hop there. So here we go. As Wilbur steps in, Wiesler follows that straight back, 1-1. So great chance for Wynot to try to get a run back here, maybe even two. You know, you don't want to be greedy. You'd love to just get a number up there, but a crooked number would be cool. Wiesler, left-handed hitting first baseman, awaits the pitch from Wilbur, who looks back at Lundahl at second. Comes home, little three-quarter arm length there, slot, and that's in for a strike. 1-2, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Still waiting that first out of the inning. So Wilbur comes home, and that is inside. That is past the catcher, as Dubinowski is not able to field that. So runners now at second and third with the 2-2 count. So Dubinowski, that's off the top of his glove. So that'll put runners at second and third now. As Lundahl now at third, 90 feet away. Sudbeck at second. Peyton Wiesler awaits the pitch. Here we go. And that's lifted into deep left center field. They're going back. Making the catch, but Lundahl will tag up. And the catch is made out there. Nice job in the outfield by Preston Nedved, the pickup player. But that is a great sacrifice by Peyton Wiesler to get the first run across. So one down now, but the score is now 2-1. Alexandria in the lead on the Grassland Heating and Cooling scoreboard. And Jackson Sudbeck still at second. Brings up left fielder Nate Wiesler with right fielder Devin Lammers on deck. So a beautiful play out there by the Platte Killer Tomato Preston Nedved. Now, otherwise, if he is unable to get that, that would have been 2 runs, and Wiesler's probably at second. Here's the first pitch to Nate Wiesler. That is in for a strike, 0-1. So Sudbeck with some good speed at second. So if Nate Wiesler is able to get something into the outfield, he'd be able to tag if it's caught. But if it drops, expect Jackson Sudbeck at second to try to score. That is outside, 1-1. So after a really dominant 1-2-3 inning in the first for Wilbur, a little bit of trouble here. But that first hit, just a fluke. But sometimes that gets into the head of a pitcher. So Wilbur looks back at Jackson Sudbeck, comes home, and Nate Wiesler down the first baseline. But that is foul. Makes the count 1-2. So Wiesler steps back in, right-handed hitting, left fielder. As Wilbur looks back, Jackson Sudbeck gets a bouncing lead. That pitch is lifted high down the right field line. Looks like it's going to be foul, but will they get to it? No, it will just fall harmlessly to the turf, leaving the count at 1-2. So Wiesler will come back into the batter's box. Again, a great chance for Wynot to even this score, get things back to terra firma. And so Nate Wiesler steps in. Again, Jackson Sudbeck on second. 1 down with 1 run across with Devin Lammers on deck. And Nate Wiesler takes time out. Takes a couple of swings there. Then he sets back up. All right, so Wilbur looks in. Comes home. Swing and a miss for strike 3, and A.J. Wilbur needed that. So that's 2 down now with Sudbeck still at second, but that changes the entire dynamic of the inning. So that brings up right fielder Devin Lammers with third baseman Carson Wiesler on deck. So again, Devin Lammers, he's had a power surge as of late over the last few weeks. We'll see if he's able to keep that going. That pitch is a check swing, fouled out of play, 0-1. So again, had Devin Lammers on my show last week. That's a great interview. And he steps in, back into the batter's box. Again, Sudbeck still at second. And again, with 2 out, you can run on contact. Here's the 0-1 pitch. That's hit, knuckled over to third, fielded cleanly. Devin Lammers, and that will get him by a step. So a 5-3 putout to close out the inning. But Wynot does get one of those runs back. 1 run, 2 hits, no errors, 1 runner left on base. After 2, it is Alexandria 2, Wynot 1 on the Grassland Heating and Cooling scoreboard. We'll be back with inning number 3 after these messages on Fox Sports Radio and 5-Star Streaming.
Elkhorn Valley Bank and Trust understands what it takes to be a part of the community. It's not just about transactions, it's about relationships. Whether you're buying your first home, growing your business, or planning for the future, their team is here to help every step of the way. Elkhorn Valley Bank uses local decision-making, personalized service, and modern banking tools like online banking and a teller on demand to make managing money simple and convenient. Helping you reach your financial goals, Elkhorn Valley Bank. Member FDIC.
There's something new waiting for you at the Crofton Lakeview Golf Course. Come experience a brand new clubhouse where great rounds meet great company. Enjoy the stunning new view while relaxing with friends on the covered patio. Whether you're finishing 9 holes or just stopping by, Lakeview's new clubhouse is a perfect place to unwind. Lakeview Golf Course, come for the game, stay for the experience. Make every visit unforgettable at the new Lakeview Clubhouse. Experience a summer of golf while overlooking the views of the Lewis and Clark Lake. See you there.
Joe Substation in Lesterville says go Bronx. And so should you. Go to Joe Substation when you are hungry. They serve that amazing Alaskan pollock and delicious roasted chicken. Lunch specials are served Tuesday through Friday from 11 to 1. And on Wednesday, it's the all-you-can-eat roasted chicken and fish buffet served from 5 to 8 p.m. Weekends, the kitchen is open from 5 p. to 9. So when you're out and about, hungry and need some nourishment or a cold beverage, Joe's Substation is the place. 4 miles south of Lesterville. Go Bronx.
Welcome back to South Central League Baseball at the South Dakota Amateur Baseball Tournament in Mitchell at Cadwell Park. I'm Michael Schumacher. And leading off this inning for Alexandria is Charlie Dubinowski. And that first pitch is fisted into center field, shallow center field for a leadoff single. So the third straight inning where the leadoff runner or leadoff batter has gotten aboard. That is the fourth hit of the game for Irene. That brings up Tyson Gow, the right fielder who reached on an error in the first. On deck is left fielder Preston Nedved. Who's on deck is brought to you by Chris Hay Grinding in Tyndall. So Landon Weisler, we do have a courtesy runner out there. I did not see a number. So we have a courtesy runner but cannot see a number. And nothing's been announced. So here's the first pitch coming to Tyson Gow. That is in for a strike, 0-1. So Alex Mizak, the pitcher from opening day, the opening round, is in for as a courtesy runner. First pitch is a strike. Next pitch to Gow outside, 1-1. So runner at first. As smoke billows around the facility here from the Exchange Club, as that is so Gow takes ball 2, 2-1. So 2 balls, 1 strike. Pitch from Weisler, that is 3-1. Okay, I thought that one caught the corner, but 3 balls, 1 strike to Tyson Gow, who is 0 for 1 today, but reached on an error on his only at-bat. Here's the 3-1 pitch from Weisler. That is ball 4. So again, Weisler allowing 2 runners aboard for the third straight inning. So that'll bring up left fielder Preston Nedved, who flew out to center field back in the first. On deck is first baseman Jordan Gow. So Nedved of the Platte Killer Tomatoes, one of the more unique names. I do like the Minnow Mad Frogs, though, but I'm partial to South Central League. That ball is grounded down the third baseline, fielded by Carson Weisler. Steps on third, throw over to first, not in time to get Nedved, but a nice try by Weisler. He does get the lead runner. So Nedved is aboard via a fielder's choice. So now Preston Nedved at first, Tyson Gow at second. So that'll bring up first baseman Jordan Gow with Ben Wilder on deck. First pitch to Ben Wilder, in for a strike. Ryan, who do you think is the most famous person named Wilder? Thornton Wilder? Gene Wilder. Nice call. I like it. Here's the 0-1 pitch coming to Jordan Gow. That gets away from Jalen Weisler just a little bit, but not far enough for anyone to advance. 1 ball, 1 strike. Gene Wilder. That is a good one. Willy Wonka. Haven't watched that one in a while, but I'm going to say Young Frankenstein's my favorite. So Gene Wilder is a good one. So Landon Weisler working from the stretch, comes set, looks back at second. Jesse Lundahl goes over, comes back, and that ball's lifted into deep left field, and that is going to be foul and out of play. So that makes the count 1-2. So 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out with 2 on. So Jordan Gow, he'd love to straighten that out just a little bit. Landon Weisler would like to just keep him from hitting it at all, so here's the pitch. That is high inside, 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. If you're a football fan, James Wilder, the Buccaneers, is kind of famous. I think he's well under Gene and Thornton. So that is just outside. It's now a full count. Boy, Landon Weisler, he's given up the 2 runs, but he's thrown a lot of pitches, a lot of walks, a lot of full counts. So we'll see how long he can last as he works from the stretch here. Comes set, comes home, and that is ball 4, and walks the bases loaded. So bases are loaded with 1 down. Now, the only thing you say is, okay, there's a force at every base. So does that limit what you can do out there? We'll see. But that does bring up the aforementioned Ben Wilder. I prefer Wilder, not Wilbur, but, Wilbur's probably his actual name. I just can't read my writing, and that's okay. As there's a mound visit going on, we're not going to take a break, but it is a Mama J's Bar and Cafe meeting at the mound, and the mound visit breaks up. So, again, that was brought to you by Mama J's Bar and Cafe as Landon Weisler stays in there. Probably more of a strategy where you want to go with the ball, just to be aware of the force at every base that somebody needs to cover. As Ben Wilbur steps up, right-handed hitting, third baseman. That pitch grounded down the third baseline just past Carson Weisler. 1 run will score, and 2 runs will score, and we'll have a runner at third. So runners at second and third on the double by Wilbur. Right down the third baseline. Gow ends up at third as Nedved scores and Gow scores. It's now 4-0 in favor of, or 4-1 in favor of Alexandria, with 1 out here in the top of the 3rd inning. And Landon Weisler he has not quite had his usual stuff. And we'll see. I don't know if anybody's warming up or anything for Wynot. But here's the first pitch to Pierce Smith, and that is in for a strike, 0-1. So no balls, 1 strike. That ball's lifted into deep left field. Nate Weisler going back, and that is off the top of the fence. And so that will be a 2-run double for Pierce Smith. And that makes it 6-1 Alexandria as Ben Wilbur comes across. Jordan Gow comes across, and I think we're going to have ourselves a pitching change, a Mama J's Bar and Cafe pitching change with 1 out here in the top of the 3rd. We'll take a quick timeout, brought to you by Mama J's Bar and Cafe as the pitching change in on Fox Sports Radio and 5-Star Streaming on YouTube.
At Central Farmers Cooperative, they know your operation depends on more than just hard work. It depends on the right partner. From agronomy solutions that boost your yields to reliable seed varieties and the chemicals that help protect every acre. Central Farmers Cooperative is there to support you every step of the way. Local people, local expertise, real results. Central Farmers Cooperative cheering on the surrounding areas in all aspects. Central Farmers Cooperative, growing strong together.
Hey, Rod.
Friendly place to have a drink with friends and family. Darts, pool, big screen TV, nice, friendly, hospitable staff, great decor for family and community gatherings. How about 5 stars? Tremendous place for local people to meet. These are just a few of the comments about the Corner Nugget in Lesterville. Have you been there yet? If not, sounds like you should head to the Corner Nugget in Lesterville. Music, cold beverages, and your favorite drink mixed just right. The Corner Nugget is a proud sponsor of the Lesterville Bronx. Stop in and catch a game on the big screen.
At Menno State Bank, our team is dedicated to the traditions of service. We offer a wide array of products to accommodate all your financial needs, including checking and savings accounts, CDs, loans, IRAs, debit cards, credit cards, a 24-hour ATM, and online banking. Be sure to inquire about our competitive rates. Menno State Bank, member FDIC, proud to serve the Menno community and surrounding areas.
Welcome back to South Central League Baseball on Fox Sports Radio and 5-Star Streaming at the Amateur Baseball Tournament. So we have had a Mama J's Bar and Cafe pitching change. Jackson Sudbeck has come in from center field to pitch. Landon Weisler, who was pitching, has moved to short. Shortstop Jesse Lundahl has moved to third. Carson Weisler has gone to the bench. Jake Weir, the pickup player from Freeman, has gone out to center. So Jake Weir will be batting in Carson Weisler's spot. So the first pitch from Jackson Sudbeck is in for a strike to Carter Brown. Sudbeck catches the outside corner, 0-2. And so what that means is Jake Weir will be leading off the third inning when Wynot does come up. There's a throw over to second. Not quite in time, but boy, that was closer than I think they would have liked if you're Alexandria. So that pitch just a little high. 1 ball, 2 strikes. So runner on second, 1 down with 4 across this inning for Alexandria. So Wynot really trying to stop the bleeding here and then getting a chance to hopefully get some runs in the bottom. Here's the hit into center field. Weir moves over. That'll be a catch for the second out of the inning. So that's a fly out to center for the second out of the inning. That brings up the top of the order, and Jared Zenz. It's the third inning, and it's Zen's third time at bat. He has walked and flown, lined out to short. So Sudbeck working from the stretch, comes home. That is in for a strike, 0-1. And Sudbeck is coming in, and he's throwing strikes. Kind of, just it was one of the things that hurt Landon early on, is he walking a few and just kind of getting in his head, I think. Now that ball's lifted into right field. Devin Lammers will glide over, and he'll catch that one. So Jackson Sudbeck comes in and gets 2 fly ball outs. But in the inning, 4 runs on 3 hits, no errors with 1 runner left on base. After 2.5, it is Alexandria 6, Wynot 1 on the Grassland Heating and Cooling scoreboard. We'll be back after these messages on Fox Sports Radio and 5-Star Streaming on YouTube.
High Street Insurance and Financial in Crofton has what you need for all your insurance needs. Whether it's auto, home, farm, crop, commercial, life, or health, they have the right products and the right service you're looking for all your insurance needs. Call High Street Insurance in Crofton at 402-388-4772 or stop in at 1201 West 2nd Street in Crofton. A proud sponsor of this sports broadcast.
Greg Davis Excavation is the one to call when you're looking for reliable and dependable excavation and demolition work done the right way, from tree removal to full-scale demolition. Greg Davis Excavation has the experience and the equipment to handle it all. Curb, gutter work, sewer lines, drain tile, basement and garage floors, no problem. They have you covered with dependable and fast service you can trust. Residential or commercial, no job is too big. Greg Davis Excavation, a supporter of all Irene sports.
Since 1958, Tabor Lumber Co-op, located in Tabor and Lesterville, has been your trusted partner in agricultural service and supply. At our Tabor location, you will find the Cenex Fuel Island, open 24/7, accepting both credit and debit cards and offering Roadmaster premium diesel fuel and several options of blended ethanol gas. Inside the store, we've got you covered with hardware and paint supplies, plus top quality windows, doors, and siding. This is more than just a co-op. This is Tabor Lumber Co-op. Stop by today. We are here to help you grow.
Welcome back to South Central League Baseball at the Amateur Baseball Tournament at Cadwell Park in Mitchell. I'm Michael Schumacher on Fox Sports Radio and 5-Star Streaming. As leading off for Wynot this inning will be Jake Weir, who came into the game as a defensive replacement, followed by Landon Weisler and Lee Hymas. Landon Weisler's Who's on Deck, brought to you by Chris Hay Grinding in Tyndall. So last inning against A.J. Wilbur, Wynot did get a couple of singles and a sacrifice. They did score a run, so they're looking to add to that. First pitch here is a ball to Jake Weir, left-handed hitting center fielder, manager of Freeman. That ball's grounded right up the middle, fielded cleanly by Carter Brown at second, and they will get Weir by a couple of steps. So one up, one down here in the top or bottom of the third. Brings up shortstop now, Landon Weisler. Landon grounded out to second his first time up. On deck is second baseman Lee Hymas. So Weisler steps in. Right-handed hitting shortstop now. Slick fielding shortstop. Awaits the pitch from A.J. Wilbur. That pitch is in for a strike, 0-1. So again, we'll have tomorrow night's game with Tabor doing battle with Clark, and that ball is lifted into shallow right center field, and that will drop in. And oh no. Carter Brown took an odd turn, and he is down. Second baseman Carter Brown took an odd turn, and it looks like he might have hurt his knee. So we're going to take a quick timeout while they tend to Carter Brown, as that is a single. For Landon Weisler, puts a runner at first, but we're going to take a timeout while they tend to Carter Brown. You hate to see that. The single, probably the lesser of the issues. So we'll be back right after this on Fox Sports Radio and 5-Star Streaming on YouTube.
Byerly Insurance would like to welcome new customers offering no obligation quotes. They will gladly travel to you with their mobile insurance service, doing business in Yankton, Lesterville, Menno, and surrounding areas of the South Central League. Give Rita Byerly or Brody Byerly a call at 605-387-5999 or go to ByerlyINS.com. When it comes to insurance for autos, home, farm, liability, commercial, work comp, or bonds, Byerly Insurance covers the bases.
The Keg and Tabor is a great place to enjoy some food or a cold one. The grill is on at 11 a.m. Monday through Saturday. Order yourself some appetizers, steak tips, a burger, or some fries or tots. Order up a cold one to go with your meal. Lunch specials are served Monday through Friday. Looking for a place to host a party? Check out the beer garden at the Keg. On the way to the game, make sure you stop by the Keg and Tabor to pick up your cold beverages and munchies. Mike and Anita are proud sponsors of Tabor Bluebirds and all South Central League baseball teams.
TLC Propane of Yankton, Lesterville, and Tabor wants you to know that they're proud of their high level of customer service and that they are locally owned. Building a new home or business? Give Trevor a call today for quotes on tank sizes or with any of your propane questions. TLC Propane can refill or exchange your camper, grill, and fire pit propane bottles. TLC Propane Yankton is now located at 2208 Whiting Drive. Open Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m.
Welcome back to South Central League Baseball at the amateur tournament. As we did have an injury, Carter Brown has left the game. So coming in will be the designated hitter, Pierce Smith, to play first, and first baseman Jordan Gow has moved over to second. Looks like those are the only two position changes. Does not change the batting order or batting lineup at all. And so that means we will have Lee Hymas coming up with a runner on first. One down here in the bottom of the third inning. Lee Hymas grounded out to first in the first inning. And on deck is catcher Jalen Weisler. And Lee Hymas is hit by a pitch. And that will put runners on first and second. So that'll bring up catcher Jalen Weisler, who grounded out to short in the first inning. So Lee Hymas at first, Landon Weisler at second, one down here in the bottom of the third. Wynot looking to keep pace with the Alexandria Angels would like to get at least a couple of runs across here. But with one down, you play a little bit closer to the vest. As A.J. Wilbur comes set, looks back at second, comes home, and that is in for a strike, 0-1. So again, in case you're just joining us, it is 6-1 in favor of Alexandria. Landon Weisler started. Jackson Sudbeck came in and got the final 2 outs of the third inning. A.J. Wilbur still on the mound for Alexandria. Looks back at second a few different times. Comes home. That is way inside. 1-1. Again, want to thank you all for joining us on 5 Star Streaming on YouTube. If you want to leave a shout out, well, I'll shout somebody out. If you want to like the post or like the stream, that would be awesome. It just helps us get a little more coverage and would really appreciate it. So here's the 1-1 pitch. That is low and outside. 2-1. So 2 balls, 1 strike on Jalen Weisler. 2 on with 1 down. So Wynot really trying to get something going here. And that pitch is a little hot. Oh, called it a strike. Okay, 2 balls, 2 strikes. So 2 balls, 2 strikes. Wilbur would love to get his second out here. A strikeout would be great for him. Here's the pitch. That's a swing and a miss. Strike 3. So that is the second out of the inning. So with runners at first and second, now 2 down, that brings up third baseman Jesse Lundahl. Lundahl singled in the second on a weird hop that bounced over the head of Dakota Munger. And so Lundahl batted .375 on the season, would like to get a hit here. First pitch is lifted into shallow, deep third base, and that is caught out there. So after getting 2 runners on, Wynot cannot get anything across, and that will do it for that inning. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, with 2 runners left on base. After 3 on the Grassland Heating and Cooling scoreboard, it is Alexandria 6, Wynot 1. We'll be back after these messages on Fox Sports Radio and 5 Star Streaming.
At Sioux International of Freeman, South Dakota, they pride themselves on delivering equipment solutions to every sort of farming operation. The company continues to exude a tradition of excellent customer service and employ a large staff of knowledgeable technicians. Get the scoop on the latest deals and what's new, whether it's ag equipment, acreage equipment, lawn and garden, or equipment attachments. It's what they do at your Sioux International dealer in Freeman, South Dakota, a proud sponsor of this sports broadcast.
You'll find Merchant State Bank with locations in Freeman, Hurley, Viborg, and Irene. They offer big bank products with small-town service to meet your financial needs and promote economic growth and stability within the communities they call home. Go to msb-sd.com to browse their website. Merchant State Bank, your hometown banks since 1899. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Parker Hannafin in Yankton has proudly produced filters in their communities for 40 years. With a mission to protect their customers' engines and equipment from first to last use, you know you can trust Parker Hannafin. They have superb product quality, an extensive distribution network, and the industry's broadest product line. All of this in 40 years of doing what they're good at. That's Parker Hannafin in Yankton. Check out their website to see their wide variety of products and how they can help you. Parker Hannafin in Yankton is a proud supporter of all South Central League athletes.
Welcome back to South Dakota Amateur Baseball's Class B tournament from Cadwell Park in Mitchell, covering South Central League teams on Fox Sports Radio and 5 Star Streaming. After 3 innings of play, it is Alexandria 6, Wynot 1 on the Grassland Heating and Cooling scoreboard. Leading off this inning will be Dakota Munger, followed by Charlie Dubinowski and Tyson Gow. Dakota Munger homered his first time up. Charlie Dubinowski is who's on deck, brought to you by Chris Hay Grinding in Tyndall. Jackson Sudbeck is pitching for Wynot, entering his second inning of relief following the Mama J's Bar and Cafe pitching change. And that pitch is out of the zone. It's now 2-0 on Munger. That pitch high and inside, 3-0. So right now pitching just for Wynot just not as crisp as they would like it to be. As Sudbeck winds and delivers, 3-0 pitch. That's in for a strike, 3-1. That ball's grounded down the third base line. That gets past Lundahl. Right, hugs the line, and going for two is Munger, and he'll be in safely with a slide. That is a double for Dakota Munger. So that is the 7th hit of the game for Alexandria. 6 runs on 7 hits with no errors. Wynot with 1 run on 3 hits with no errors, and that brings up catcher Charlie Dubinowski, who is 1 for 2 with a single in the 3rd. So Sudbeck steps on the mound, winds, delivers. That comes home, and that is a strike, 0-1. So with Munger on second, Dubinowski steps in. Right-handed hitting catcher here. Fouled straight back, 0-2. So count is 0-2 with a runner on second. Nobody out here in the top of the 4th. Sudbeck in his 2nd inning of relief comes home. That is out of the zone, 1-2. So again, Tabor will be in action tomorrow night against the Clark Traders. We will have it here on Fox Sports Radio and 5-star streaming on YouTube. We will cover South Central League as long as teams are playing. That pitch is lifted high into shallow right field. Devin Lammer steps in. Steps under, and Munger is not going to be able to tag up. So runner stays at second. 1 down here in the top of the 4th inning. That brings up right fielder Tyson Gow, who is 0 for 1, reached on an error in the 1st, and no, he did not reach on an error. They end up giving him a hit, so that's my bad. So he is 1 for 1, and he also walked. So here's the first pitch to Gow. That's lifted high into left field. Nate Wiesler gets underneath it and makes the catch for the 2nd out of the inning. So Dakota Munger still at second. Brings up Preston Nedved, the 3rd left fielder who reached on a fielder's choice and flew out to center field. Made a great catch out in left field, though, to save some bases. So Sudbeck working from the stretch. Dakota Munger gets a good lead off of second. Sudbeck comes home in for a strike, 0-1. Here's the 0-1 pitch. That is high, evens the count at 1-1 with 2 down. Here in the top of the 4th. That pitch is high, 2-1. So 2 balls, 1 strike, 2 out, 1 on here in the top of the 4th inning. Jackson Sudbeck looking to put a 0 up on the board. That is inside, 3-1. So 3-1 pitch. James Simbrick over here putting some money down on some Jai Lai. Has anybody ever actually watched Jai Lai? Or did they just bet on Jai Lai? I just like saying Jai Lai. I could say cricket. Cricket's another obscure-ish sport. to Americans. Here's the 3-1 pitch from Sudbeck. Swing and a miss for strike 2. So now it's a full count. Full count on Preston Nedved. Boy, he took a healthy hack at that one. So, payoff pitch coming. Munger will be moving. Nedved will be, well, either swinging or taking. You know, it's one of two things. Here's the 3-2 pitch from Sudbeck. That is high and outside. Puts runners on first and second. So Nedved is aboard. That'll bring up first baseman, not first baseman, now second baseman, Jordan Gow. So Jordan Gow steps up. He flew out to right field in the first and walked and scored a run in the third. That pitch is in for a strike, 0-1. So no balls, 1 strike. Runners on first and second, 2 down here in the top of the fourth. Swing and a miss, strike 2, 0-2. So again, Sudbeck looking to try to get put a 0 up there. I just knocked Ryan Deals, unplugged all his stuff, and hopefully he hasn't lost everything. Hopefully stuff's still charged. Here's the 0-2 pitch coming from Sudbeck. No, throw over to second. Oh, not in time. Throw was a little to the right field side. And so Hymas tried to put a snap tag, but could not quite get Munger. We'll see if that keeps Munger a little closer to second, but Sudbeck looks back. 0-2 pitch coming. That ball is lifted high, foul, and out of play. Count remains 0-2. So 0-2 pitch coming with 2 runners on, 2 down. That pitch is outside, 1-2. Yeah, Ryan Deal shudders when he sees me come into the press box. I'm like Chris Farley and Tommy Boy. I'm discombobulated. I don't know how many times I've unplugged him now in just 3 nights that I've been here, so I owe him something, I think. But here comes the 1-2 pitch from Jackson Sudbeck. That's lifted into center field. Weir trots back, makes the catch for the 3rd out of the inning. In the inning, no runs, 1 hit, no errors, 2 runners left on base. At the end of 3.5, it is Alexandria 6, Wynot 1 on the Grassland Heating and Cooling scoreboard. We'll be back with the bottom half of the 4th inning after these messages on Fox Sports Radio and 5-star streaming on YouTube.
Minnow Beer Garden, where the game's always on, the drinks are cold, and the wings and pizzas are delicious. There's Chislic and burgers too. Gather your crew for a night of darts, pool, or casino fun. Or soak up the sun on the spacious outdoor area. Whether you're cheering on your favorite team or just looking for a laid-back hangout, Minnow Beer Garden is your destination. You won't go hungry or thirsty when you hang at the legendary beer garden in Minnow.
Larson Carpet has the best flooring for your space, lifestyle, and budget. Family owned and operated since 1972, Larson Carpet offers a huge variety of flooring options, both in stock and special order. When you want the job done right, come to Larson Carpet. Located at 208 Walnut Street in the Meridian District, Larson Carpet is your friendly, family-owned flooring specialist that is right for you.
Welcome back to South Central League Baseball from the South Dakota Amateur Baseball Class B Tournament at Cadwell Park in Mitchell. I'm Michael Schumacher on Fox Sports Radio and 5-star streaming on YouTube. We enter the bottom half of the 4th inning. Wynot trailing 6-1 on the Grassland Heating and Cooling scoreboard. Batting this inning for Wynot will be pitcher Jackson Sudbeck, followed by Peyton Weisler and Nate Weisler. Peyton Weisler is Who's on Deck, brought to you by Chris Hay Grinding in Tyndall. And they just had first responders and veterans stand and be recognized. And again, I always want to thank the veterans in my life, especially my daughter, Leela, serving in the National Guard in North Carolina, just elevated to an E5. She hasn't answered. I don't know if I'm supposed to call her sergeant or not, but pretty proud of that kid. So here's the first pitch from Wilbur to Sudbeck, in for a strike, 0-1. So Leela's doing some great things. A personal trainer down there, working National Guard. She's also a bodybuilder, so just doing some amazing things. Here's the 0-1 pitch from Wilbur. Ooh, catches the outside corner, 0-2. You can tell she's a bodybuilder, takes after her dad. You know, there's a body under here. I have a body. She does some amazing things, though. Here's the 0-2 pitch. That is high, 1-2. She's one of those I'll always say COVID was the best thing for her. Took her out of the school system. There was some bullying going on, and she just hit the gym. And when she went back to school, she was totally different with her confidence. And so that kid has just been on the upswing ever since. That ball is lifted into shallow right field. Circling over and making the catch is Tyson Gow. So Sudbeck, 1 up, 1 down here in the bottom of the 4th. Why not? If you're Wynot, you don't need to get them all back now, but boy, you'd love to get a run or two here. 1 or 2 runs, make it 6-2 or 6-3 would be huge. That brings up first baseman Peyton Weisler. So Weisler's the one, he had the great hit into left field. Now, Nedved was able to catch it with an amazing catch. Otherwise, it would have probably been 2 runs, but it was a sacrifice, did allow Lundahl to score from third. First pitch to Peyton is a ball, 1-0. That ball's in for a strike, 1-1. So 1 ball, 1 strike. Nobody on with 1 down here in the bottom half of the 4th inning. Beautiful night for baseball. Great crowd here at Cadwell Park. Man, part of me wants to just come for a game, even if we don't have South Central League playing, because this is just such an amazing atmosphere. And I could probably come in free. I'll just bring in one of my boxes or wear my backpack. That is a hot shot over to second. Fumbled a little bit, but they're still able to recover. And remember, that's a new second baseman. That is Jordan Gow over there, but he recovers in time to get Peyton Weisler by a step. So a 4-3 putout is the second out of the inning. So 2 up, 2 down here in the bottom of the 4th for Wynot. And that'll bring up left fielder Nate Weisler. Nate struck out swinging in the second. On deck is Devin Lammers. Again, I want to thank you for joining us on 5-Star Streaming on YouTube. And honestly, if there's somebody you want me to shout out, you just type it into the chat, and I'd be happy to do it. Would love it if you would just give the stream a thumbs up, just to say, hey, you're doing okay, little buddy. And I'd be super happy with that. First pitch inside. So 1-0. Boy, that almost clipped his knees, but didn't. So 1 ball, no strikes to Nate Weisler. So again, like I said, Wynot would love to get something going here. They haven't been able to manage much. 3 hits, mainly all in the second there. That pitch is outside, 2-0. I mean, they take a walk, too. Anything that gets a runner on. Devin Lammers, like I said, batting in the high 300s. Good power over the last few weeks. Here's the 2-0 pitch. That's lifted just over the head of the second baseman, drops in right field. So Nate Weisler with a bloop single into right field, and, they'll take it. So that is the 4th hit of the game for Wynot. Nate Weisler now on first, and that brings up Devin Lammers, who grounded out to third, a hot shot to third. That was fielded really well over there by Ben Wilbur, and that'll, again, brings up Devin Lammers. On deck is then Jake Weir. Throw over to first, not in time. That ball is lifted that's popped up right in front of second base, and Jordan Gow takes care of that for the 3rd out of the inning. So in the inning, no runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 runner left on base. At the end of 4 innings, it's Alexandria 6, Wynot 1 on the Grassland Heating and Cooling scoreboard. We'll be back with the 5th inning of play after these messages on Fox Sports Radio and 5-Star Streaming on YouTube.
Rural Manufacturing Company of Freeman, South Dakota has a large inventory of steel for buildings and fabrication needs. They stock square and rectangular tube, pipe, angles, channels, and rounds. Rural Manufacturing also stocks shapes in stainless steel. Their sheet metal stock consists of hot-rolled steel, stainless steel, and galvanized steel. Concrete rebar is also in stock in sizes 3/8 to 3/4 in 20-foot lengths. Call Rural Manufacturing in Freeman for pricing or info on fabrication services available. Want your party to be a hoot? Then have it at Hoot's Bar in Freeman, where they are always looking for a great group to party with. The staff at Hoot says stop in and try the selection of beers on tap or use the easy drive-up window for off sale. But the Hoots team would rather see you join them inside. Hoot's Bar in Freeman offers darts, lottery, and golf. You can also relax with your cocktail in the outdoor beer garden. Hungry? Order up a delicious Hoots Bar Pizza. Fun, friendly, helpful staff is waiting for you at Hoot's Bar in Freeman. See you at Hoots.
Welcome back to South Central League baseball coverage at Cadwell Park in Mitchell. I'm Michael Schumacher on Fox Sports Radio and 5-Star streaming on YouTube. As we head into the top of the fifth, leading off for Alexandria will be third baseman Ben Wilbur, followed by Pierce Smith and A.J. Wilbur. Ben Wilbur walked and doubled so far tonight. Pierce Smith, he's Who's on Deck, brought to you by Chris Hay Grinding in Tyndall. Again, a big thank you to all of our sponsors, including Downtown Auto Service, Midwest Insurance Agency, Elkhorn Valley Bank, and Lakeview Golf Course. First pitch in for a strike, 0-1. Joe's Substation in Lesterville, Central Farmers Cooperative, Quarter Nugget, and Menno State Bank. That pitch just inside, 1-1. High Street Insurance and Financial Services, Greg Davis Excavation, Tabor Lumber Co-op, and Byerly Insurance as Sudbeck winds and delivers. Swing and a miss, strike 2. The Keg in Tabor, TLC Propane, Sioux International, and Merchant State Bank. Along with Parker Hannafin, Beer Garden in Menno, Larson Carpet, and Rural Manufacturing. And that ball has popped up. Jalen Weisler takes off the mask, but that will be on the other side of the net. And count will remain 1-2. So again, a big thank you to the Beer Garden in Menno, Larson Carpet, Rural Manufacturing, Hoots Bar, Jones Feed and Grain Trucking, Core Trust Bank, Renewable Ag Products, and Wynot Oil. So Sudbeck in his third inning of relief after a Mama J's Bar and Cafe pitching change has a 1-2 count on Ben Wilbur. Here's his pitch, and he fouls that off. Count remains 1-2. Again, on deck is Pierce Smith, and then A.J. Wilbur will bat for the first time tonight. Here's the 1-2 pitch. That is lifted high, foul, and out of play. So again, Alexandria, a team with great history, not a long history, but they have made the tournament every year of their 16 years of existence since 2011. Here's the 1-2 pitch coming from Jackson Sudbeck. That is just outside, evens the count at 2-2. And I was scrolling through Twitter or X or whatever you want to call it nowadays. Here's the pitch from Jackson Sudbeck, and that is high, full count, 3-2. And it does appear that Corey Koski, the former Twin, still plays town ball in Minnesota. 51-year-old Corey Koski. That ball is grounded down the third baseline. Foul. Count remains full, 3-2. I don't know. I just wanted to mention that. I'm a Twins fan. I always find that interesting that Koski's still playing. And Jim Eisenreich played for a number of years, some town ball in Minnesota. The Steinbach brothers. That ball is in for strike 3, called strike 3 to start the inning. I believe that is the first inning that the leadoff batter did not get on. And I'm positive, actually. So that is a strikeout looking. So 1 up, 1 down here in the top of the fifth inning. Brings up first baseman now, Pierce Smith. He was DH until now. He has a single and a double, so he has a triple and a home run away from the cycle, but that first pitch is a strike. On deck is, I believe, going to be A.J. Wilbur. Swing and a miss. Strike 2, 0-2. And yes, it will be A.J. Wilbur. So they did lose the DH when Carter Brown got hurt. They moved Jordan Gow over to second, and Pierce Smith came in to play first. That pitch, just off the outside corner, 1-2. So 1 ball, 2 strikes here in the top of the 5th. Wynot trailing 6-1. If Sudbeck can get put up another 0 here, it just gives Wynot that chance, but they have to start getting some runs up there. That pitch is in for called strike 3. Second consecutive strikeout for Jackson Sudbeck. And that's the second strikeout looking. So that'll bring up pitcher A.J. Wilbur. Now, A.J. Wilbur, this is his first official at-bat. Carter Brown left the game. He reached on a fielder's choice in the second and flew out to center field in the third. So he is 0 for 2. He was 0 for 2. And again, we hope he is still healthy. He was walking off on his own power, so might have been more of a tweak or a sprain. First pitch is lifted high. Down the right field line, Devin Lammers coming over. Oh, and he is about 5 feet away. Man, a valiant effort for Devin Lammers, but just a long, harmless fly ball. 0-1. So A.J. Wilbur will make the long trek back to home plate. So the ball was thrown in from the first base coach, and it almost hit, it didn't almost hit A.J. Wilbur. He saw what was going on. Jared Zenz was not quite as fortunate. I think it just hit him in the buttocks. Here's the 0-1 pitch from Sudbeck. Swing and a miss. Strike 2, 0-2. So Wilbur with his first official at bat. He's down 0-2 in the count. Sudbeck works from a windup. Winds and delivers. Swing and a miss, and he struck out the side. That is a snapper. Mow him down inning for all you old school Twins fans. But here it's just a mow him down inning. 3 consecutive strikeouts, strikes out the side. No runs, no hits, no errors. Nobody left on base after 4.5. It is Alexandria 6. Wynot 1? We'll be back with the bottom half of the 5th after these messages on Fox Sports Radio and 5-star streaming on YouTube.
Jones Feed and Grain Trucking in Wynot, Nebraska is looking for you if you have a CDL. This is a full-time opening for a semi-truck driver to run tanker trailer, hauling liquid feed and fertilizer. Also a hopper trailer hauling feed and grain. This position is within the regional area and home most evenings. A part-time position is also available running quad-axle straight truck, hauling liquid feed within the region and home every evening. Interested? Call Jones Feed and Grain Trucking, 402-357-2633.
Rewarding you for doing everyday things, like buying gas, shopping, and dining local. Does your bank do that? If you're a Core Trust customer, your bank does that. When you open a premium or preferred checking account and meet requirements, you get access to Core Trust perks powered by Bazing, an exclusive network offering 300,000 plus deals and discounts on dining, shopping, travel, fuel, and more. Visit us online, in person, or by phone. Terms and conditions apply. Member FDIC.
From the Fox Sports Radio studio, I'm Michael Schumacher. Well, not from the Fox Sports Radio studio, on Fox Sports Radio and 5-star streaming on YouTube, I'm Michael Schumacher. We head into the bottom half of the 5th inning with Wynot trailing 6-1 on the Grassland Heating and Cooling scoreboard. Up this inning for the Expos will be Jake Weir, Landon Weisler, and Lee Hymas. Landon Weisler is Who's on Deck, brought to you by Chris Hay Grinding. First pitch from A.J. Wilbur in for a strike, 0-1. Again, since Jackson Sudbeck has come in, he's been able to hold Alexandria scoreless since he's come in. Why not? If they can start to get a run or two, you got to feel pretty good that maybe they can stem the tide. But right now they are putting up a bunch of zeros. A.J. Wilbur pitching really well, and now ahead of Weir on the count, 0-2. Here's the 0-2 pitch. That is fouled off. Count remains 0-2. So Weir, the left-handed hitting center fielder from Freeman, the one pickup player for Wynot, steps back into the batter's box. Again, on deck is Landon Weisler, who's now playing short. He was the starting pitcher for Wynot. 0-2 pitch. That is high, 1-2. So 1 ball, 2 strikes to the leadoff batter here in inning number 5 for Wynot. Wilbur, who works from the stretch constantly, winds and delivers. That is inside, and that almost hit Weir. Evens the count at 2-2. and 2. So we're in that Black Sox uniform, the black jersey with white letters and numbers and white pants. 2 balls, 2 strikes. So A.J. Wilbur comes set, comes home. That is outside, full count, 3 and 2. So Scott Morrison down on in the first base box, coach's box for Wynot. Ryan Hymas in the third base coach's box. A.J. Wilbur comes home, payoff pitch. That is inside. Oh, wow. Wow, Weir was ready to go down the first baseline, and boy, that looked pretty inside. But you know what? I'm not down there. I'm not an umpire, so we will say. But that was one of those that you audibly heard the crowd react, and Weir was about ready to flip the bat, but that ends up being a called strike 3. So 1 up, 1 down, and that brings up Landon Weisler. On deck is second baseman Lee Hymas. So the count is 1-0 to Landon Weisler. That ball is lined right back to Weisler, or to Wilbur, and that'll be the second out of the inning. So a 1-3 put out. Brings up second baseman Lee Hymas. He was hit by a pitch in the third and grounded out to first in the first. First pitch to Hymas is in for a strike, 0-1.
Hymas was hit by a pitch his last time up, also grounded out to the first baseman. 1 out in the first.
So here's the 0-1 from Wilbur. That's fouled off, 0-2. So no balls, 2 strikes. On deck is Jalen Weisler. That pitch is inside and almost hits Hymas again, but 1 ball and 2 strikes.
AJ is, shall we say, effectively wild. 1-2 on the way from Wilbur.
1-2 pitch. That is inside as well. 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out, nobody on here in the bottom half of the 5th inning. Wynot trailing 6-1, trying to get something going. Wilbur would like to shut him down here with a 1-2-3 inning. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss for strike 3. So in the inning, no runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on base. After 5 innings of play, it is Alexandria 6, Wynot 1. We'll be back after these messages, and that is on the Grassland Heating and Cooling scoreboard here on Fox Sports Radio and 5-star streaming on YouTube.
At Renewable Ag Products, their business is based on customer relationships and customer service. They coordinate distiller supplies to provide area livestock producers with their commodity needs by working closely with multiple ethanol and processing plants within their region. Their office trades a core group of feed ingredients that include modified distillers, wet distillers, dry distillers, grain, corn syrup, soybean meal, soy hull pellets, corn gluten feed, and corn screening. Call Renewable Ag Products and talk with Henry or Frank. They do their best to make your purchasing decisions easy.
Give Wynot Oil a call for your fuel, tire, and oil needs. They deliver treated farm and road diesel along with unleaded and super unleaded gasoline to both tanks. They offer gravity flow bulk oil, DEF systems, and can assist you with all your tire needs from small lawn tires to large ag tires. Wynot Oil Company offers hydraulic hose repairs, automotive service, and more. Stop in for fuel at the pump or a cold drink from the small convenience store. Wynot Oil Company, Wynot, Nebraska.
Welcome back to South Central League Baseball on Fox Sports Radio and 5-star streaming on YouTube. From Cadwell Park in Mitchell, I'm Michael Schumacher. As we enter the top half of the 6th inning, Wynot trails on the Grassland Heating and Cooling scoreboard to Alexandria 6-1. The Angels will send up the top of the order Jared Zenz, Dakota Munger, and Charlie Dubinoski. They'll be facing Jackson Sudbeck, who's entering his 4th inning of relief. First pitch is ball 1. 1-0. Dakota Munger is who's on deck, brought to you by Chris Hay Grinding in Tyndall. Ball came right back. Quick movement out there. So 1 ball, 1 strike. That pitch is just outside and high, 2-1. So again, boy, we have touched 59 people on the stream. Man, just go get a family or a friend or a neighbor and say, hey, let's help Mike out. Hop on here, and that ball is just over the shortstop of Landon Weisler's glove, and that will be a leadoff single for Jared Zenz. His first hit of the game, his second time on base, walked to lead off the game and scored on the home run by Dakota Munger. So leadoff hitter is aboard. That's the 8th hit of the game for Alexandria. Brings up Dakota Munger, who has doubled and homered so far tonight. Throw over to first, not in time. So Sudbeck from the stretch, just outside, 1-0. So again, why not Sudbeck doing a nice job of keeping Alexandria within striking distance. But, boy, why not need to start getting a run or two each of these next few innings, as there's another throw over to first, not in time, as Zenz dives back in. Another throw over to first, and boy, that one was and they're going to call him safe. That was a great move by Sudbeck. And boy, the umpire almost looked like he called him out. I'm not quite sure, but so he gets a good lead over there, Zenz does. And again, not like the majors, no numbers of engagements or disengagements here. So throw over there. So we'll see. Sudbeck looks home. Here's the pitch to Munger. Swing and a miss. Strike 1. 1-1. So 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 on with nobody out here in the top of the 6th inning. There's a throw over to first. Not in time. Zenz gets back in. And here's a throw down to second, and Zenz is in, and boy, that throw bounced into Hymas. Otherwise, if that had been a throw that went all the way in the air to Hymas, probably gets him out, but that is it. As it is, it's a stolen base. Ball 2, 2-1. So Sudbeck looks back, comes set, comes home. That pitch does not curve in. Ball 3, 3-1. So again, if you're tuned into the stream, if you could just click that thumbs up button, I would love to try to get that into double digits. That would be awesome. As here's the pitch from Sudbeck. Swing and a miss. Strike 2. So full count, 3-2 payoff pitch coming up for Sudbeck. Facing Dakota Munger with Charlie Dubanoski on deck. Dakota Munger was who was on deck to begin the inning, brought to you by Chris Hay Grinding. That pitch is popped up. Hymas comes in front of second base, and he'll take that for the first out of the inning. So with a runner on second, Dakota Munger pops out to Hymas, and that'll bring up the catcher, Charlie Dubanoski. Dubanoski 1 for 3 on the day, hit a single back in the third, got to second base, and was out on the way to third on a fielder's choice. So here's the pitch. That's laced into left field. That's going to be between Weir and Weisler, and that's going to get past Weisler. That's going to get to the fence. That'll score Zenz, and Dubinowski will be in at second with a stand-up double. So that'll make it 7-1 in favor of Alexandria on their 9th hit of the game. And that'll bring up right fielder Tyson Gow. So Alex Mizak is the courtesy runner at second for the catcher. And so that brings up right fielder Tyson Gow, who is 1 for 2 with a walk and a single. On deck is Platte Killer Tomato pickup player Preston Nedved. That pitch is laced down the left field line. And they're going to hold the runner, so runners will stay at first and third on the single by Tyson Gow. So that is the 10th hit of the game for Alexandria. So that brings up Preston Nedved, who has walked, reached on a fielder's choice, and flown out to center field. On deck is second baseman Jordan Gow. So again, it's now 7-1 on the Grassland Heating and Cooling scoreboard. Alexandria with the lead. Runner heads down to second, and Hymas comes in between second and the mound, so that will be a stolen base. But they thought the runner from third might try to take off, as that was a strike. 0-1. So Gow at second, Mizek at third. One down, kind of takes the double play off the table as Nedved steps out of the box. Hey, we got to 60. Thank you, people. Thank you, party people. And so Wynot winds and delivers. That ball is ball 1-1. So 1 ball, 1 strike. Runners on second and third with 1 down here in the top of the 6th with 1 run across already for Alexandria. That ball is lifted deep into left field, deep and gone, and that is a home run. And boy, Nate Weisler seems to think it was foul. Both Nate Weisler and Landon Weisler say it was foul, but the umpire called it fair. That is a 3-run home run, and that will make the score 10-1 in favor of Alexandria on the Grassland Heating and Cooling scoreboard. And why not talking with the umpire saying that was foul? And the umpire is saying he has no doubts. Umpires rarely do. And so called it fair. But boy, Nate Weisler was pretty positive. I'm just going to say Nate Weisler's the closest one out there. He was pretty positive that was foul. So that will bring up Jordan Gow. That ball is fouled off, out of play. 0-2 to Jordan Gow. On deck is third baseman Ben Wilbur. So winds and delivers. Sudbeck, that's lifted into deep left field. Nate Weisler going back, and he cannot get to it. That bounces off the fence, and that will be a stand-up double for Jordan Gow. And Alexandria has suddenly figured out Jackson Sudbeck. Double, single, home run, and a double. That is the 5th hit of the inning for Alexandria. So now they have 12 hits, 10 runs, runner at second. And let's see, Lee Hymas comes in to talk to Sudbeck just a little bit. And Sudbeck will stay in there. He goes back to the mound. So with the runner on second, that brings up third baseman Ben Wilbur, who walked in the second, doubled in the third, and struck out looking in the 5th. So twice this game, 2 out of the 6 innings, Alexandria has been able to put up 4 runs. They're still trying to put up more in this one, as that one gets away from Jalen Weisler, and Jordan Gow will make it down to third. Now, Gow is at third is such an important run because that becomes that 10th run. And so if after 7 innings of play you're up by more than 10 or more, that becomes the 10-run rule. So Ben Wilbur is up ahead in the count 1-0 with Jordan Gow on third. Sudbeck, and that one does not hit the zone. 2-0. That pitch is popped up into shallow left field. Jake Weir comes in, and he will gather it. Here's the throw home. There's going to be a play at the plate. Oh, and Peyton Weisler cut it off. And, boy, if Weisler hadn't cut it off, it's going to be interesting to see if Jalen would have been able to receive that in time to try to apply a tag. But as it is, a sacrifice by Ben Wilbur scores that 11th run. So now Alexandria is ahead by 10. And that's a key number. So Wynot needs to score at some point. They need to hold them here and then score at some point in the bottom of the 6th or the bottom of the 7th. But Jackson Sudbeck steps back on the mound as Pierce Smith comes up for his 4th at-bat. He is 2 for 3 today with a single and a double and a strikeout looking. First pitch in for a strike, 0-1. On deck is pitcher A.J. Wilbur, 2 down here in the top of the 6th. That pitch is laced into left field, and that is going to get over to Nate Weisler. That will be Pierce Smith is big wide turn around first, but he will not try to make it a double. So that is a single for Pierce Smith, the 13th hit of the game for Alexandria, and brings up A.J. Wilbur. So A.J. Wilbur steps up. That ball is fouled down the third baseline. 0-1. So on deck is the top of the order, and Jared Zenz. That pitch is outside, 1-1. That pitch to Wilbur is ball 2, 2-1.
Jackson Sudbeck has been hit pretty good, but so was the starting pitcher, Landon Weisler. Alec has come with all guns a-blazing tonight. Swing at a high curveball, that one misses.
So quickly now, ball 3, 3-1, with a runner on first. And the top of the order on deck, Jackson Sudbeck comes set, comes home. That ball is lifted high into left field. Nate Weisler coming in, and he will make the catch for the 3rd out of the inning. But in the inning, they do bat around. They get 5 runs on 6 hits, no errors, with 1 runner left on base. At the end of 5 1/2, it is Alexandria 11, Wynot 1 on the Grassland Heating and Cooling scoreboard. We'll be back with more after these messages on Fox Sports Radio and 5-Star Streaming.
If your car can't get you all the way home or just needs regular maintenance, call Downtown Auto Service in Crofton with a commitment to providing you with honest quality service with reasonable prices. With the technology and expertise Downtown Auto Service in Crofton provide, your car will have the best care imaginable. When it comes to your vehicle, you want the best, and Downtown Auto Service in Crofton is not only the best downtown, it's the best all around. That's Downtown Auto Service in Crofton.
Midwest Insurance Agency values family. Our agency has been family run for over 60 years. We pride ourselves on excellent, knowledgeable customer service. This day and age, everyone is so eager to have an immediate response with a quote. But at Midwest Insurance, we take our time and evaluate your assets and make sure you are properly insured. We take those what ifs very seriously. As we continue on our family business with hopes of our children, Brooke or Jet, taking over in the future, we will continue to be there for you always. Come be a part of our family. Midwest Insurance Agency, 3016 Piper Street, Yankton.
Thank you for calling. Thank you for calling. Thank you for joining Fox Sports Radio and 5-Star Streaming. Michael Schumacher from Cadwell Park in Mitchell, as we are bringing you South Central League Amateur Baseball. As Wynot trails Alexandria here in the bottom of the 6th by a score of 11-1. So with that 10-run rule, it's not after 6, it would be after 7. So they need to score something and hold them in the next inning to have a chance to keep the game going. And leading off this inning will be Jalen Weisler, followed by Jesse Lundahl and Jackson Sudbeck. Jalen Weisler 0 for 2 on the night. Here's the first pitch. That is in for a strike, 0-1. So Jesse Lundahl is who's on deck, brought to you by Chris Hay Grinding in Tyndall. Here's the 0-1 pitch from A.J. Wilbur, who has gone the distance. No Mama J's Bar and Cafe pitching changes there. There's a swing and a miss, 0-2. So again, we'll be back in action from here tomorrow night as Tabor will be doing battle with the Clark Traders. That pitch is in for a called strike 3. That's the first out of the inning. Tomorrow morning on At the Mic, we will have Josiah Peterson, the star pitcher from Friday night for Tabor. We'll also have Chris Sutera on. So that's from 7 to 9 here on Fox Sports Radio. That brings up Jesse Lundahl, who singled in the second with an odd bounce over Dakota Munger, and then grounded out to third, or lined out to third in the third. First pitch to Lundahl, fouled back, 0-1. So Jackson Sudbeck is on deck. If either Lundahl or Sudbeck get on board, Peyton Weisler would come up. Here's the 0-1 pitch. That's in for a strike, 0-2. Here's the 0-2 pitch. That's ball 1-2. So 1 ball, 2 strikes. A.J. Wilbur comes set. Jesse Lundahl awaits. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss for strike 3. That's the second out of the inning. So 2 up, 2 down here in the bottom half of the 6th. Wynot trailing? That ball's grounded right up the middle. A.J. Wilbur gets his hand on it, tosses it back to first, and that is the third out of the inning. So a 1-2-3 inning, no runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on base. After 6 innings, it's Alexandria 11. Wynot 1? We'll be back with the 7th inning after these messages on Fox Sports Radio and 5-Star Streaming on YouTube.
Elkhorn Valley Bank and Trust understands what it takes to be a part of the community. It's not just about transactions, it's about relationships. Whether you're buying your first home, growing your business, or planning for the future, their team is here to help every step of the way. Elkhorn Valley Bank uses local decision-making, personalized service, and modern banking tools like online banking and a teller on demand to make managing money simple and convenient. Helping you reach your financial goals, Elkhorn Valley Bank, member FDIC.
There's something new waiting for you at the Crofton Lakeview Golf Course. Come experience a brand new clubhouse where great rounds meet great company. Enjoy the stunning new view while relaxing with friends on the covered patio. Whether you're finishing 9 holes or just stopping by, Lakeview's new clubhouse is a perfect place to unwind. Lakeview Golf Course, come for the game, stay for the experience. Make every visit unforgettable at the new Lakeview Clubhouse. Experience a summer of golf while overlooking the views of the Lewis and Clark Lake. See you there.
Joe Substation in Lesterville says go Bronx. And so should you. Go to Joe Substation when you are hungry. They serve that amazing Alaskan pollock and delicious roasted chicken. Lunch specials are served Tuesday through Friday from 11 to 1. And on Wednesday, it's the all-you-can-eat roasted chicken and fish buffet served from 5 to 8 p.m. Weekends, the kitchen is open from 5 p. to 9. So when you're out and about, hungry and need some nourishment or a cold beverage, Joe's Substation is the place. 4 miles south of Lesterville. Go Bronx.
Sudbeck moved out to center.
At Central Farmers Cooperative, they know your operation depends on more than just hard work. It depends on the right partner. From agronomy solutions that boost your yields to reliable seed varieties and the chemicals that help protect every acre. Central Farmers Cooperative is there to support you every step of the way. Local people, local expertise, real results. Central Farmers Cooperative cheering on the surrounding areas in all aspects. Central Farmers Cooperative, growing strong together.
Welcome back to Fox Sports Radio and 5-star streaming coverage of South Central League Baseball from Cadwell Park in Mitchell at the State Amateur Tournament. As we enter the top of the 7th inning, batting for Alexandria will be Jared Zenz, Dakota Munger, and Charlie Dubinoski. Who's on deck is Dakota Munger, brought to you by Chris Hay Grinding in Tyndall. Zenz walked in the first and singled in the 6th. New pitcher on the Mama J's Bar and Cafe pitching change for Wynot is Devin Lammers. He gets Zenz to ground into over to second, fielded by Hymas, over to Peyton Weisler for a 4-3 putout. So Devin Lammers is the new pitcher of record for Wynot. That's a Mama J's Bar and Cafe pitching change, and that'll bring up Dakota Munger. So if you're wondering, well, where'd Jackson Sudbeck go? He went to center. Then you're saying, well, where'd Jake Weir go? Well, Jake Weir went to right. See how that worked? And Devin Lammers' first pitch to Munger's in for a strike, 0-1. Lammers comes home. That's ball 1, 1-1. So 1 ball, 1 strike, 11-1 on the Grassland Heating and Cooling scoreboard. Wynot needs to hold them here and score a run in the bottom of the inning to keep the game going. That ball is lifted into shallow left field. Coming in will be Nate Weisler, and he will make the catch. So 2 up, 2 down here in the top of the 7th. And that'll bring up catcher Charlie Dubinoski. On deck is right fielder Tyson Gow. Like I said, I used to have a therapist when I was in high school, a freshman in high school in Yankton called Guy Gow. So I don't know if there's any relation. I always called him Guy Gow. I think he passed away a few years ago. But here's the first pitch to Charlie Dubinoski. I didn't have a therapist named Dubinoski. It was Gow, though. First pitch is inside, 1-0. That is out of the zone, 2-0. 2 balls, no strikes on the Doobster. I don't know if anyone calls him the Doobster, but I just did. 2-0 pitch. And that is outside, 3-0. I think James is going to use that in the next P&D article. They're going to call him the Doobster, right? Nope, I got a no on that. That was a quick no. Here's a 3-0 pitch, and that is inside, a 4-pitch walk to Charlie Dubinoski. And so that puts a runner on first, and that brings up right fielder Tyson Gow. So that is Dubinoski's 3rd time on base, a walk, a double, and a single. Courtesy runner is Alex Mizak for Alexandria. Brings up right fielder Tyson Gow, who singled in the 1st, walked in the 3rd, and singled in the 6th. He is 2 for 3. Swing and a miss. Strike 1, 0-1. So again, just a reminder, we will have coverage of the Tabor Bluebirds against the Clark Traders tomorrow night. Again, 5:30, 5 o'clock pregame here on Fox Sports and 5-star streaming. And that ball is fouled off, 0-2. And tomorrow morning on At the Mic, we'll have Josiah Peterson, the pitching hero from the opening game for Tabor, and Charlie Sutera, Chris Sutera of the Tabor Bluebirds of Sutera Enterprises, who is sponsoring Bonhomme and Tabor activities on At the Mic. That ball gets away from Weisler, as that bounced in, and Mizak will head down to second. So runner on second, 2 down here in the top of the 7th as Tyson Gow steps in. Down 1-2. Preston Nedved on deck. That ball is swung on and missed for the 3rd out of the inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on base for a perfect inning, or a no-hit inning for Devin Lammers. That'll bring up Wynot in the bottom of the 7th, needing to score a run to keep their season alive. They're down 11-1 on the Grassland Heating and Cooling scoreboard. We'll be back after these messages on Fox Sports Radio and 5-Star streaming on YouTube.
Friendly place to have a drink with friends and family. Darts, pool, big screen TV, nice, friendly, hospitable staff, great decor for family and community gatherings. How about 5 stars? Tremendous place for local people to meet. These are just a few of the comments about the Corner Nugget in Lesterville. Have you been there yet? If not, sounds like you should head to the Corner Nugget in Lesterville. Music, cold beverages, and your favorite drink mixed just right. The Corner Nugget is a proud sponsor of the Lesterville Bronx. Stop in and catch a game on the big screen.
At Menno State Bank, our team is dedicated to the traditions of service. We offer a wide array of products to accommodate all your financial needs, including checking and savings accounts, CDs, loans, IRAs, debit cards, credit cards, a 24-hour ATM, and online banking. Be sure to inquire about our competitive rates. Menno State Bank, member FDIC, proud to serve the Menno community and surrounding areas.
Welcome back to South Central League Baseball on Fox Sports Radio and 5-Star streaming on YouTube. As we enter the bottom of the 7th, Wynot needs to score a run to keep their season going. Leading off this inning for Wynot will be Peyton Weisler, followed by Nate Weisler and Devin Lammers. Facing A.J. Wilbur. Wilbur's gone the distance for Alexandria. First pitch out of the zone, 1-0. So 1 ball, no strikes. Peyton Weisler on the day, 0 for 1. That ball's fouled and out of play. Makes the count 1-1. Weisler sacrificed back in the 2nd, and in the 4th grounded to second base. Here's the 1-1 pitch from Wilbur to Weisler. That pitch is in there for a strike, 1-2. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. That's the first out, and that will bring up Dylan Heine. So Peyton Weisler strikes out swinging, and Dylan Heine will bat for Nate Weisler. So Dylan Heine comes up with 1 down here in the bottom of the 7th. That's inside, 1-0. Here's the second pitch to Heine. That is in for a strike, 1-1. So 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out, nobody on here in the bottom of the 7th. Wynot needing a run to keep their season going? And that ball is chopped back to Wilbur, fielded cleanly. Throws it over to first, over to Pierce Smith for the 2nd out of the inning. So now Wynot down to their final out of the season to keep their season going. And that will come up to another pinch hitter. And that'll bring up Jude Cry. Jude Cry, he and Dylan Heine, big courtesy runners, but Jude Cry stepping in to bat for Devin Lammers. That ball swung on and missed, 0-1. Well, fouled off, sorry, 0-1. And again, if you're joining us on the stream, I want to thank you so much for being a part of this broadcast. I would love if you wanted to chime in or just give it a thumbs up, but thank you so much for all of your confidence this season. There's a swing and a miss, 0-2. Why not down to their final strike? Again, just a reminder, we will be here tomorrow night for the Tabor Bluebirds and the Clark Traders. And so I hope you'll join us there. But here's the 0-2 pitch from Wilbur to Cry. Swing and a miss, strike 3. And that is the third out of the inning. So again, Wynot falls by a score of 11-1. Let's take a timeout. When we come back, we'll have our Hanson Briggs post-game show. Hanson Briggs, your local source for printing and promotional needs in Yankton. We'll be back right after this on Fox Sports Radio and 5-Star Streaming on YouTube.
High Street Insurance and Financial in Crofton has what you need for all your insurance needs. Whether it's auto, home, farm, crop, commercial, life, or health, they have the right products and the right service you're looking for all your insurance needs. Call High Street Insurance in Crofton at 402-388-4772 or stop in at 1201 West 2nd Street in Crofton. A proud sponsor of this sports broadcast.
Welcome back from Cadwell Park in Mitchell. I'm Michael Schumacher. This is the Hanson Briggs post-game show. Let's first give a big thank you to all of our sponsors who joined us on this broadcast, including Downtown Auto Service, Midwest Insurance, Elkhorn Valley Bank, Lakeview Golf Course, Joe's Substation, Central Farmers Cooperative, the Corner Nugget, Minnow State Bank, High Street Insurance and Financial Services, Greg Davis Excavation, Tabor Lumber Co-op, Byerly Insurance, The Keg, TLC Propane, Sioux International, Merchant State Bank, Parker Hannafin, Beer Garden, in Menno, Larson Carpet, Rural Manufacturing, Hoots Bar and Grill, Jones Feed and Grain Trucking, Core Trust Bank, Renewable Ag Products, and Wynot Oil. Well, Alexandria wins. They score 11 runs on 13 hits, no errors. Wynot 1 run on 4 hits with no errors. For Wynot, just unable to get anything going. Just the 4 hits, a single by Jesse Lundahl, a single by Jackson Sudbeck, a single by Nate Wiesler, and a single by Landon Wiesler. That was all they were able to get going. Lee Hymas was aboard by a hit by a pitch, but otherwise no free passes allowed at all by A.J. Wilbur. Just a great pitching performance. For Alexandria, they got off to the hot start. A walk to Jared Zenz, and then a home run to Dakota Munger. That's a 2-run lead after 2 batters. They then scored 4 runs in the third, singles on Charlie Dubanoski, a walk by Tyson Gow, fielder's choice allowed Preston Nedved to get aboard. Then Jordan Gow walked, a double to Ben Wilbur, and a double by Pierce Smith. And then Jackson Sudbeck came in relief through a Mama J's Barn Cafe pitching change, got the final 2 outs. Then he shut them out for 2 innings, and then in the 6th, that's when the floodgates opened. Leadoff single by Zenz, a double by Dubanoski, a single by Gow, a home run by Preston Nedved, a 3-run home run, made it 10-1. And then Jordan Gow hit a double, scored on a single by Pierce Smith to make that 11-1, giving it that 10-run lead that they held through the 7th inning. So great season by Wynot. Just unable to come up with it here. Again, I want to thank everybody for joining us. And again, we'll be back at this tomorrow night from Mitchell as the Tabor Bluebirds will be taking on the Clark Traders. So pregame will start at 5 o'clock. First pitch at 5:30, but you can hear from Josiah Peterson and Chris Sutera tomorrow morning on At the Mic in the 8 o'clock hour on Fox Sports Radio. So that's going to do it for me. I hope you guys have a beautiful night. I want to thank all of our sponsors, Hanson Briggs, our pre- and post-game show sponsors, Grassland Heating and Cooling, our scoreboard sponsor, Mama J's Bar and Cafe, our mound visits and pitching change sponsor, Joe Labarge of America's Best Realty, our national anthem sponsor in honor of South Dakota Special Olympics, and Chris Haygrinding, our sponsor of Who's on Deck. Well, I hope you guys have a beautiful evening. As the OG Leela used to say, Grandma love ya, Grandma do. You guys just have a beautiful night. Thank you so much.